The Dr. Mark Method team recently ran a 50 plus person transformation challenge at a local gym, and I wanted to show you the exact steps to set it up so you can run one yourself. And this may seem simple, but there are a few mistakes you can make in this process, ones that can actually ruin your business and drain all of your energy. So make sure to watch the video and follow the steps. And I'm gonna do a massive giveaway, something that I've never done before at the end of this video, so make sure to hang around for that. Let's start with number one, validate that people actually want the challenge. Okay, this is just good general business practice. Before you create something, you wanna make sure that people actually want it and that they're going to pay for it. So before you get started working on this challenge and setting it up, put out some social media content that describes what people will get out of it, when the timeline is going to be, and what will be the intent of it before you get started putting it all together and putting a bunch of energy into that. For example, you could say, I'm thinking of putting together a transformation challenge. It will be 8 weeks long, completely online. And if you do it and you follow everything, you're gonna lose 10 pounds. If I put this together, would you be interested in signing up? Make sure it's a good idea before you promote it and get some people interested. You're gonna have hot leads from that just by putting it out there. And if you wanna see the exact promo I use for this challenge, stay tuned because I'm gonna package it all together for you. Next up, here's the secret weapon for all of our challenges. Number two, results and incentives. If I take a step back and think about all the successful challenges we've run, and we've done these for a while, it comes down to two main things. It comes down to your ability to get results and have a proven track record that you can get results in the challenge, as well as incentives. Are you going to make it easy and exciting and fun for people to participate in the challenge because you're going to give some stuff away? First off, if you have access to any body composition testing like an InBody scanner or of course like a DEXA, you want to include these type of tests at the beginning and the end of the challenge. People will love it. They love having these readings. They're like basically a body report card. They love assessing progress this way. They're basically looking for an excuse to do them. And then when you have the same readings for everyone participating in the challenge, you can start to incentivize the results. Obviously, just a weight loss challenge isn't great for everybody involved. Some larger male will lose an obnoxious amount of weight more than everyone else, an amount of weight he can't keep off. That's not good for anyone. But if you can measure their fat mass and their lean body mass and what changes there at the beginning and the end, you can really assess changes in body composition. If you do that, everyone will be in a better spot. And that's why we use the InBody scanner. That's why I purchased one of these units for this type of challenge. Now here's how we incentivize the results portion of this challenge. We use the InBody scanner, and we're gonna give a cash prize for the best transformation, which came down to three main components: body composition results, participation in the action items, and then progress pictures as well. So for body composition, here's how we scored things. Remember, it's not just a weight loss challenge. Our participants would get 10 points for every pound of fat mass they lost. They lose 5 points for every pound of lean body mass they lose. And in the event that they actually gain lean body mass through the challenge, they're gonna gain 20 points for every pound of lean body mass they gain. You can't just lose a bunch of weight and win the challenge. It's about keeping your muscle as well. So the challenge was heavily weighted to that body composition score, as well as participation through the weekly action items. I'm gonna tell you what we focused on from a coaching perspective on a week-by-week basis. I'll tell you in a second what they actually were, but every day they followed this action item, our participants would get 1 point. So they could get 7 points over the course of the week. This made it not all about results, but kept the focus on them participating and engaging. And over an 8-week challenge, you want them to keep showing up. That's what's gonna make it successful. And then finally, we did some scoring with progress pictures as well. This is the only thing that our coaches actually score. Everything else is self-scored with the honor system. But making them take these pictures and including them in the prizes is good because you'll get more before and after pictures if you include it that way. Then at the end of the challenge, we score these all together and award the best prize. We're gonna do a cash prize this year. People are competitive. They love this stuff. They love pushing each other and it being in the running to win the cash prize. If you don't want to do a cash prize, there's other things you can do. You could do a glamour shoot or a photo shoot at the end for your best transformation, or give away a Ninja Creamy, something like that. There's a bunch of ways to get creative. Before I tell you exactly what we focused on from a coaching perspective each and every week, Coach Meredith from the Dr. Mark Method actually did the coaching. So she wanted to pass along one tip that will help you be successful as you're running your own challenge. Here it is.
If I could give one piece of advice when it comes to running a group challenge, I would say to coaches, you want to keep it simple. We tend to want to overcomplicate things a little bit as coaches. And we might have the basics and the foundations down of certain habits that we know we need to do on a daily or a weekly, monthly basis. But those particular more simple concepts still might be challenging for a lot of our participants. I would suggest that you give them one habit to work on each week, and you can always build upon that. And keep your challenge so that it's not running too long of a length of time. Do a 6 or an 8 week challenge so that your participants aren't going to burn themselves out. And if they are feeling like they need more, it's your opportunity at the end of the challenge to be able to pitch your one-on-one coaching so that they can continue to work with you, but at an elevated price point. And that way you're going to gain more clients in the process.
The key in these challenges is to get people focusing on simple things. You don't want to overwhelm them. You don't want it to be too complicated, because you got to remember you're delivering it to a group of people, not just individuals. And everyone's going to be at different levels with different experience levels and backgrounds. So the simpler, the better. Remember, you also want this challenge to be a natural segue into your one-on-one coaching offer. So of course you want it to be valuable and you want to over-deliver and be helpful, but you don't want it to be so valuable that they don't see a reason to take that next step after. So make it basic, helpful advice that everyone can apply. So with that being said, we charge $150 for an early bird rate for the 8-week challenge, and then it went up to $200 for the last 2 weeks as we were promoting it. One thing you can do throughout the challenge to help with conversion to your one-on-one coaching offer is use your client examples and the people you're currently working with in your one-on-one coaching as examples throughout the challenge. So if you're talking about protein, which we're going to talk about in a second, you could use that as an example. When my client Tim came to me before my one-on-one coaching, he really struggled eating enough protein. Through my one-on-one coaching, this is what we changed. This makes it obvious to people in the challenge that there is a next step that they can take and another opportunity after the challenge, and you're not just going to be sneaking it in at the last second as they're wrapping up the 8 weeks. Now here's how we delivered the coaching. Each week we set an action item, and then we did one live coaching call to bring everyone together to describe the challenge and to answer any questions. So in a private group, you can do this in Facebook, but we did it on Kajabi, which is the learning platform we use for the Dr. Mark method. You're going to set the action item for the week. For example, we did protein week number 1. So the action item would be for all the males in the challenge. They needed to eat at least 185 grams of protein per day. And this was 125 grams of protein for the females in the challenge. And then we'd give them a bunch of suggestions on how to prepare and the foods that they could eat to get there. We deliver all this information in a Loom explanation on Sunday. And then we would do the live coaching call on Monday to answer any questions and get them excited. The rest of the weeks focused on week number 2 was steps. Week number 3 was fruits and vegetables. Week number 4 was hydration. We also had sleep, stress, resistance training, and mindset. Each week would build on the next, so participants would work on that habit, nail it down, and then they would add the next habit the next week. So everything was building on each other. And people would get to discuss with everyone else in the challenge what was working for them, and there'd be that sense of community around it as well. They love that aspect. So that's how we delivered the coaching. Remember, you want people to see the value in working with you and your one-on-one coaching after the challenge. No one is going to get rich putting these challenges on, especially if you have a decent sized audience or smaller gym, medium-sized gym to pull from. The real value is getting people to sign up for your one-on-one coaching after. And remember, you're not going to be able to individualize this level of challenge or service with 50 plus people. You'll burn out, especially if you're not getting compensated for it. So provide value, get people to know you, get them some results, and talk about the next step as early and often as possible. You're hoping to retain at least 20 to 30% of the people in the challenge as one-on-one coaching clients afterwards, while getting compensated for running the challenge. It's essentially like paid marketing, which is always a smart idea. Now, I do have a bunch of helpful tips to get yourself organized to run one of these. Coach Michelle on our team did run all of the scans in the gym. So here's what she had to say about getting this up and running, as well as how to navigate some of those situations when people were doing the scans at the beginning and maybe they weren't certain about their starting point. Here's how to navigate that.
Okay, so Coach Michelle, you ran a lot of the in-person aspects of our challenge, doing the actual scans and that type of stuff. How did you feel it went in terms of like smoothness, and would there be anything you would do differently in terms of the in-person interactions?
I don't think I would do anything differently, honestly. I think it was structured very well. Having the schedule, having set times was a really good idea. And then having the clients being able to sign in themselves too, so they have access to it. And then we had access to the sheet. So that went really well. And then, yeah, I think using the machine was really easy. It was easy to explain to the clients how to do it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think the other thing that went really well was just having me here to walk them through it, so they didn't have to guess like how to use the machine or anything like that.
So we did, body composition testing, and people are taking a look at their body fat percentage and their lean body mass and getting that information at the beginning of the challenge. Was there any consistent feedback around where they say, hey, I want to change this, oh, this is this? Like, what did you hear from them? Especially as people entering this, like our clients are potential new clients, people that we're coming across for the first time. How are you navigating some of those situations and conversations?
Yeah, so I had pretty much most of the clients that came in were either surprised by how high the number of body fat percentage was, or yeah, they were kind of disappointed by it. So the way I went about that is just try to get them excited about the transformation challenge itself and the possibility of changing that by the end. And then I think they felt really motivated by seeing that number and that thinking about the end goal.
Do you feel like, I'm getting the sense that, based on the interactions you had and stuff, they left motivated. Do you feel like using a tool like this gives them a sense of hey, this is the situation and I can kind of see where I can change this? And is that a net positive thing?
Yeah, I think being able to see those numbers and just have almost like proof of where they're at right now kind of makes them think about the choices they made up until now, and then just where they want to go from there. And the fact that they're able to actually change that number and actually see the physical changes at the end in that form, I think helps too.
Cool. Okay, so the one thing that, as a coach, we know having good quality information to assess progress and where people are at and starting is important. For some people that were hesitant around getting body composition testing done, especially at the beginning, how did that go over, and how did you navigate some of those conversations? Because that can be tough for a lot of people.
Yeah, I had a couple people that were kind of scared to get on. They literally told me I'm scared to see the numbers. And I think just them being able to do that and kind of face that fear helped them kind of realize that they can do hard things and they can kind of, face that.
It's important to get them excited about this process because some people are going to be uncertain. So your first point of contact, which in our case was Michelle, needs to assure people that they're in the right place. And a few other things as we wrap up here. We promoted this challenge on social media as well as in the gym. We had just a simple click to register and pay on Stripe. Coach Josie on our team helped us set that up. And once they did that, they got a welcome email with the next steps, talking about how to schedule their scan and what to expect. And one thing that we really tried to do was set expectations from the beginning of this process, because you're gonna have to answer a lot less questions that way. And there it is, folks. Running a transformation challenge can be one of the best things you can do for your nutrition coaching business, but you need to go about it the right way. You wanna over-deliver on value and support, but don't make it too complicated or take too much effort to individualize it. Now, if you want all of the social media content we use to promote this challenge, if you want the welcome email and the scoring sheet and all the action steps that we use to coach our clients, all you have to do is write challenge in the comments below. And if there's enough interest, I'll put together a free coaching package so you can run one of these challenges on your own. I'll send over next steps once you write that in the comments. And if there is enough interest, you might find an instant access download in the first link in the description below. I want you to be successful with this, and I hope it helps. As great as all those tips are, if you're really serious about starting a nutrition coaching business, the next thing I'm gonna have you do is check out this video I've linked up right here. Today, we talked all about how to price your challenge and how to set it up and run it, but you're probably wondering how to structure and price your one-on-one coaching. I'm gonna teach you how to do that in the video right here. So check it out now, and I'll see you in the next video.